And she said, "No, you can have it. You can have it." So he talked her in. I don't know how he did it, but he talked her into keeping it. Now we're gonna get back to this. I would love to have your mother on.
Okay, she'd love to be on. Yeah.
I would love to have your mother on one day because at 90, what 90,
96.
at 96, I would like to know how they told time back in the
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your mother looked like you, right?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
And she is not Indian, is she?
She's not.
Native American,
She's not.
and
No.
she doesn't look like me, does she?
Nope.
So she ain't black.
Nope.
So does she speak the English?
She does speak English.
Okay, Spanish. She has a foreign language.
I'm afraid not.
Well, now she's pure American Caucasian.
Yep. She's
All right. So
Edgecombe in Nash County. Yep.
oh, good.
Yep.
So you know what? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna talk about how my parents used to tell weather, because it was different back in the
different.
day.
Yes, indeed.
So the next time, I hope his mother feels like it, and she will do a call in for me, and we'll talk about how other people told weather, other than how my parents told weather. I like that surprise.
Yes.
And I brought the engineer some goodies out of my garden. I picked them yesterday about dark, and I pulled some leaves off. They are jalapeno peppers, and you know when you pick them, they this that the burn get in your hand and you can't put it in your eyes.
Yep.
So I fill my little bag. You know how you buy lemons, and you got about 4 in them.
You should show them the bag.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah.
show them the bag.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I put them in, so that, and I packed them as full as I could, and I tie them. So I said to Phillip this morning, I'm gonna share my gifts with you and the Aquila.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice of you.
So,
So you picked a peck of peppers today.
I picked. It was a sack of pepper.
There you go.
But and they are really big. There they are, and some of them, because I didn't pick them right. There they go. But and here's how a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, because I didn't eat jalapenos, and he says, you split the pepper from tip to the stem and take out all of the seeds, because that's where the heat is.
Mm-hmm.
And then stuff it with cream cheese. You can get cream cheese in another brand other than Philadelphia cream cheese, but that's what I like. And when you stuff it, you can put something else on it based on you. You can mix it up, whatever. Those are stuffed jalapeno peppers. So I bought enough to share, and I also have that's my garden. I have a pear tree where I used to live at, that's Phillips.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
yeah,
show it.
okay.
Thank
I brought two. I've already shared some with the engineer. See my pear? Came off my tree, and it is big. Let me see how big is it. Now, Philip, you're gonna have to wash it off.
That's
a
gonna be
little
good
bit.
eating.
See there? It's bigger than my hand, and this is a hard pear, and it's a good old American hard pear. It's good for preserves. It's good for jelly and jam.
Nice.
So here
Thank
we
you
go.
so much.
I might share that.
Because you can't trust some of the produce in other places now.
You know that's right. That worry about the lettuce. So here's what. So don't forget how you cue your mother. What I want to
All
talk
right,
about.
I'll let her know. And
The culture of how you all told the weather, and I'm going to share with her how my parents
okay.
shared it with us
Now,
about the weather.
Mary, one thing you might find interesting is, see, I got a lot of my weather knowledge to begin with from my grandfather Williams,
Okay.
who he was born in 1902,
Oh.
and so he would tell me all about the fogs in August were to be how many snows you'd have that winter.
Oh, that's the kind of
Yes,
stuff I'm talking
exactly.
about.
Yeah.
So tell me
And-
that.
oh
Tell me
yeah,
that.
because that he said you count the number of fogs in August, and that would give you the number of snows that winter. And the bigger the fog was, the bigger the snow was going to be in the winter. it's interesting because as time goes on, I began to learn like what reasoning did they have for these old sayings, and there's a little bit of science to that.
Well,
Because
now, did you
yeah,
ever? Did you ever?
I did follow it, and it's not extremely accurate, but it's to some degree. If you had a foggier August than normal, you would have more snow that winter typically. A lot of times it's showing you that it's getting colder earlier in the season. So if you have colder nights in August, they're going to squeeze out that summer moisture and make morning fog.
So that's what fog is.
Yeah, fog is when the air is cooling down, but it still has a lot of moisture in it. As it cools, it's like a sponge. It's like you squeeze the sponge as the air gets cooler, and it squeezes out the water droplets, and you can see them as fog.
So now tell me this:
Mm-hmm.
when you wake up in the morning, some is dense. That's
Yes.
the heavy one,
Yes.
and then some of them is very light. So
Mhm,
that's the light
mhm.
one. So it won't be a heavy a snow. You can
That's the old
keep
saying
up with
anyway.
it. That's the
Yeah,
old saying.
yeah.
Okay. Now here is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
My parents used to say, when like the pear tree, the apple tree, and the peach trees, and all the vegetables, because I think I could have picked this whole thing full
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Again.
for my garden, a lemon bag, and I could
Mhm.
tie it up so it'd come out, and I kept it in the fridge, and took it out this morning, and came over and brought enough to share with the
Nice.
Mac Fox. Well, the engineering family. I mess up the name, and I don't want it. I don't want to say the Mac.
Mhm.
I don't want the far to come out with the wrong word.
Gotcha.
So I have enough um, jalapeno peppers for that. Now we're going to talk
Cool.
about the weather.
Okay.
Recently,
Mm-hmm.
because you've been on this show once before, so you know
Mhm.
it comes out of my head.
Whatever comes out's good. You go for it.
All right. Uh, I don't know. I think it was recently, this past weekend. It hasn't been 7 days, I don't think, that there was a earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
and the earthquake, it was in
Columbia.
Columbia,
Mm-hmm.
and so we have had some shakings here in North Carolina, but not really quakes, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But California is known about earthquakes.
Mm-hmm.
It shakes and shimmy and moves and shifts around a lot. What
Mhm.
causes? What you think? Give us a little bit
Okay.
about it.
Yeah, and the good thing is there are parts of the world that do have a lot more earthquakes. Underneath the ground, there are a thing called plates, which are basically like rock areas, and the edges of plates, when things move, sometimes they jolt, like almost your fingers kind of locking and then jolting, and
Mhm.
that quick movement, that sliding, shakes the ground above, and
Mhm.
that's what an earthquake can be. Now, sometimes plates go under each other. That's called a subduction fault, as they call it.
Uh-huh.
And then sometimes they cause things to go up. So there are different types. Sometimes things are pulling apart. So there are many different ways that can happen. Now, for us on the East Coast of the United States, we're lucky that we don't have any major faults here. But
Now,
Charleston.
what's the fault?
Yeah, a
That's
fault is
three
like
times you use
it's the
that word.
edge of the plates that are deep down underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So they're big plates. It's one plate that covers most all of the United States. But on the west coast of our country, that's where it
There
edges.
is a plate that cover most of the United States.
Yeah, underneath us. Mm-hmm. There's
Oh.
yeah. And the same thing on the
You
Pacific
got that
Ocean.
from school.
I studied a little bit. Yeah. And so like under
Okay.
California, they're on the edge of the Pacific Ocean plate under that, and the one under the Earth, under the United States. So when that plate moves, there's a big fault there called the San Andreas Fault near Los Angeles.
Oh.
And so that one has been known in the past to have big earthquakes. So has San Francisco. So when it moves, it might move in one section, like near Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that puts more pressure on the area near San Francisco, farther up the coast.
Okay.
So when one earthquake happens, it tends to trigger future ones in other places. So, for example, earlier this summer, Venezuela had a really bad earthquake. Well, here we are now, not a couple of months later, and there's a big earthquake in the country next door in Colombia. So
Okay.
you can sometimes get a ripple effect of a future
Now
earthquake.
we didn't feel any of that.
Right. Luckily, we're far enough away, we did not feel it. Now, we can feel earthquakes in other places. Back in, I'm not sure what the year was, many years ago, Charleston, South Carolina had a very powerful earthquake.
Oh.
Yeah, and now South Carolina is not on the edge of a fault, but they just found that there were some cracks underneath that caused some movement, And so South Carolina has been known to have several small earthquakes. Even today, around Columbia, they'll have some small earthquakes somewhat often. Charleston, though, they haven't had any major earthquakes since that one really big one. But if you ever go to Charleston, South Carolina, you'll see some of the buildings there on the waterfront have these big round circles on them. They're huge bolts which bolt in their walls so that they can withstand an earthquake. They're kind of trying to earthquake-proof them because of what happened many, many years ago. But he felt earthquakes before. I felt one.
Now, did you all hear him say earthquake? The big boat is a earthquake proof, prevent it from happening.
Well, prevent the building from falling down. You just don't want the building to fall down. Won't prevent the earthquake. I wish it would.
I told y'all I have a good time talking to anybody. Well, you did say earthquake proof.
Yeah, the building. Yep. Yeah, if it prevents earthquake, I think I go out and buy them right now.
Well, now we didn't. There was no results of that earthquake in Columbia. It's close enough that something could have happened at the ocean or in Morehead City or something, right?
Like I heard they felt it as far north as Miami, but then we're still several hundred miles north of Miami, so we didn't feel it here. But East Coast of the United States, whenever there are earthquakes within a few states of us, we could feel it because in the East Coast, the way our soil is, it ripples through it easier. So there have been earthquakes, say near Charlottesville, Virginia, that we have felt here before. Yeah, in fact, there was one, I think it was around maybe 2010 or 11 or so.
It was something that if you were in the right spot, you could feel a little shake, a movement of it. It's weird.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that one we did feel in Greenville quite a bit. I was actually in an office at the time. And
you can notice it because the building would cause the shine of if they had the hanging lights.
Yes.
That's the one way you could tell. Other than that, you think you might have just.
Yeah, most of the time we don't feel things like that, but it's just very rare. It's like again, that's been maybe 15 years ago, 16 years, something like that. That we had that one.
Yeah. If we have young people listening, what's it like? Have you been? If you're standing or in a car near a railroad track and 4 engines, that's the motor part of the plane with all the conductors and things are. If you have at least 4, you can feel the rumbling of the movement of the earth as the weight of those engines go by.
You can.
And depends on how fast they're going.
Right, it does. It does. It does.
So if that's the way an earthquake is. Now, because the young folks may not experience. I talk to the seniors all the time, but the young folks, I want them to know that.
And they can also see videos on YouTube and other places. There are a lot of videos of earthquakes. Yeah, a lot of them though are quite tragic. You hate to see buildings falling down, stuff like that. Absolutely.
Let me ask you, what does Mother Nature warn you when one's going to happen?
There can be a few seconds warning, but not much. Yeah. Sometimes, and that's mainly in the field of seismology, which as a meteorologist, I didn't really study much on that. So that's kind of a slightly different field from weather.
Seismology.
Yep, seismology. They more study things in the ground. I tend to study things that are above the ground.
Okay. See,
so I know a little bit about it, but it's not my specialty.
I did not know that. Seismology means in the ground study.
And meteorology is
is
things in the air.
Above the ground. Things in the air.
Yeah.
And my parents used to say every time the rocket ship went up, they doing something there because it always rained. They declared they putting out something, they doing something up there that's out of the ordinary because it rained every time.
Yeah, and what's amazing to me is that being on TV for all these years talking about the weather is I've learned that everybody in East North Carolina, if you care about the weather, you're going to think that your area gets less rain in the summertime than everybody else. It always seems to go around you. You know, it's because we do have these spotty storms.
It can rain on this side of town and not on the north side of town.
Yep, and so there will be.
It can rain next door, and my garden doesn't get any.
Yep, exactly.
I don't understand that.
And because it is so spotty in nature, that will happen plenty of times. But eventually, you're going to get rain over your house, and the people near you will not. So it balances itself out over time. But but it may take time to get balanced. There may be a time where your area gets less rain, but then there'll be a time in the future where your area gets more rain, and so it tends to balance out over time.
I had some guests to visit Pitt County, and there was a student. He wasn't an intern, but I didn't know what else to call him, so I called him my intern.
Okay.
I used to take him around town. He was from Africa, Ghana, and he wanted to know about our community. He's studying at ECU, and as a matter of fact, he's getting his master now at ECU because he's graduated from undergraduate school. Now he's in grad school, and we had an African day. I'll call it that. I don't know what I named it now. You know, you never can tell about me, can you? But they came. It was about 10 or 15 of them, and they came from Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and all like that. And it was in the winter. It was a cold time. And
but they were shocked.
It started raining. And all of a sudden, we were down at the one of the event center down at 11 and 13, and they had their children with them because it was sort of like a vacation for them. And the children said, "Oh, ice is coming from the sky! Ice is coming from the sky! Look!"
Yep.
Hail.
Or sleet? Was it sleet or hail? Hail. One
It
of
was
them.
hail.
Oh wow. Okay.
That was hail.
Goodness.
And they said, and they said, look. And they saw.
Yeah, and I know that had to be a big shock, you know?
And the one said, that's snow. And they said, no. And they went out and they touched it. Oh, it's ice. And it was their first experience. It's amazing.
Yes.
Coming from Africa, how the children react. And the parents just stood there and looking.
Yes.
It was something. So now, that there is a difference between hail and sleet.
Yes, big difference.
Let's hear.
Mainly the season, for one thing. Hail happens in the summertime when it's hot outside because hail is made by hot air rising to create a thunderstorm. Well, we're always within about 2 or 3 or 4 miles from freezing, straight up. So when the hot air rises quickly, it carries raindrops way up high. They freeze, come back down, hit more raindrops, and the air going up pushes them back up again. So they freeze a new layer of ice, come back down, hit more raindrops, go back up and freeze bigger again. At some point, they'll be so heavy and big, they'll fall through the rising air, hit the ground as hail. You can always take a hailstone, cut it in half, and you'll see rings or layers, and that tells you how many trips it's taken up and down inside that thunderstorm.
Oh.
Yeah. And whereas sleet is different. Sleet's made in the wintertime, and that sleet has a one-way trip. It starts as normally way up high as a snowflake. It falls through warmer air and melts into a raindrop. Then it falls back through cold air again below freezing, and it becomes a piece of ice, and then that falls to the ground and bounces around. So sleet will be small. It'll bounce around. You know, that'll be sleet. But hail will be bigger and something that you can cut in half and see the rings.
But they both can hurt the human life.
You'll feel them, absolutely.
They
but hail can get big enough to really hurt you. You know, it can be golf ball, baseball, softball size.
And sleet
is small. Sleet's the size of a raindrop, so it'll be just a small piece.
And it can pierce your skin.
It'll sting. It's just a little sting to it. In fact, I have a friend of mine from South America that came to the United States about 15 years ago, and he said that he couldn't wait to see it snow. He'd never seen snow before. Well, he looked out and he saw something different falling, knew it wasn't rain. So he went running out to experience snow because he'd always seen the movies of this fluffy snow. And he runs out there and he looks up at it, and it hurts because it was sleet. It was not snow. And so it stung, and he was like, no. And so he went running back inside.
So he experienced heat.
Yeah, his first time was not the good stuff. Not good stuff.
Yeah, not the good stuff. But see, now it's amazing though when people come from other places, and you know, Pitt County is becoming an international, not becoming. It's already an international community.
Absolutely.
We, excuse me. We have a lot of people from a lot of places. Now let's talk about other aspects that we did not know. And I know our first tornado came through Aiden.
Okay, the one
Did
in
a lot of damage in
1984.
1980. Oh, you go now. You go. You in 1984.
Yeah,
I
that was
knew
in March.
I was at ECU in March.
March
Oh,
28th.
Lord. Oh Lord, what a memory! Don't ask me remember about yesterday.
About 7 o'clock in the evening or so. Yes.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I had to remember all these storms.
Now,
Yes.
what do you use to help you predict, other than sticking your finger out in the air and looking
Yeah.
up in the sky?
There are a lot of conditions that have to come together that you can analyze maps to figure out. Like for tornado systems, you need to have a variety of things. You got to have first very warm air at the surface that is over top of, has the very cold air above it. So what's called an unstable atmosphere. When cold air heavy sits on top of hot, lightweight air below, then that is an unstable atmosphere. The hot air wants to go up, cold air wants to come down. That's very turbulent and can create thunderstorms. Then some very important factors come into play with upper level winds. And see, if your winds at the surface, if they come together some, that's going to force the air up because it can't go down in the earth. So it has to hit together and go up. That'll make your thunderstorm. But then if up high, the air is blowing apart, well, air can't separate. So air from underneath must come up to fill the gaps. So basically, you're really forcing a strong updraft of air. Then, because the Earth rotates, we have something called Coriolis force. So anytime something is moving up like that strong, it begins to spin in a counterclockwise motion. So the air is going up and spinning. The whole thunderstorm begins to spin, and at some point, it begins to roll the air, and then it can that rising motion can turn that roll up vertically, and that can create your tornado at the ground. Yeah.
Similar to, let me see, for the young folks, I like to have a very pluralistic culture of people. Young folks, if you are listening, if you have wind and the land is dry and you look out and you see the swirl of the dirt and the dust,
Right.
that can be an example of tornado.
Like a little mini tornado. Yeah.
Mini tornado.
They're not dangerous. I've had them hit me before and cover me in dirt, but you're fine.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh that dirt can hurt you too.
You can.
Now, when that wind occurs on water, it's called a water spout. Now, I was in Washington, Little Washington, one day, and I did see a water spout, and it was all the way up.
Wow.
Beyond water. It was a very long one. Now, that's the same thing, sort of like.
Sort of, yeah. We
Okay.
call now water spouts. There can be different types of water spouts. One, you could have a true severe thunderstorm that would produce a tornado over land that makes it over water, and that would produce a strong water spout. Most of our water spouts in East North Carolina are not attached to big thunderstorms. They tend to be attached to actually very small cumulus clouds, which you have on any beautiful day. So they're caused more by a temperature difference from the water to the air above it. And they are quite rare, but if you see them and you don't see all the storm or rain around, you just see a small cloud, then they'll be fairly weak water spouts, and they can happen typically June, July, early August is their main time to happen. It can happen any time of the year, though, but that's when we see the most is June, July. And yeah, if they're very
Now,
vertical
Raymond
and
has
small.
a boat, and he's invited me to ride with him on the boat.
Okay,
Haven't been yet,
gotcha.
because I keep thinking about, he said he goes out about 10 miles. And my nerve doesn't go that far off the ground. Not on a boat. He has a nice side boat.
Okay.
But one of these days I'll probably go. We're going with him and his wife. So when we go out and he always check the weather.
Well,
And-
don't be afraid of water spouts. Don't be afraid of the water
Don't
spouts
be
because they're rare and they're small. And if you're in a boat, you can actually boat your way. You can move away
But
from
it's
them.
the black clouds that I worry about.
Well, yeah, worry about a
most.
storm. You don't want to be in a storm.
Because
That's for sure.
the lightning comes
Yep.
and the thunder will clash, and that can unnerve you when you're in a house,
Yeah.
because that can cause a fire when you're on land. And I don't know about the water yet in the bed.
Yes.
But I always say, when he says he tells me he's gonna go out, I said, be careful. Now I love him now. I love Raymond.
Yeah.
We were in high school together, classmates, and I love my class because I never had brothers and sisters at home. And so I tend to be very compassionate about people I get to know. Like I
Awesome.
hugged you a while ago.
All right, good
So
deal.
I don't know. I don't know, because my mother, I never seen my dad hug people like that.
Oh, okay.
But my mother did.
Mm.
Now we're talking about the weather, y'all. We're not talking about hugging and all that. We're talking about.
Now, I want to ask. I want to ask you a science question.
Sure.
Does lightning like to strike high things or low things? Like tall things or not tall things?
I think it strikes anything.
Yeah, but it likes tall things. Anything that the higher up, close to the cloud, because it
Mhm.
wants to make a connection between the cloud and the earth.
And the earth.
So like if you can use a
If
tall
you're in
tower,
between,
you know,
you can't get hit.
anytime you really can. But the thing I'm trying to point out here is that if you're in a boat,
In a boat.
you're gonna be on top of the water.
Yes.
That's gonna make you the highest thing around.
Ah.
So boats get struck by lightning a lot.
Ooh.
Yes. In fact, unfortunately, North Carolina ranks second of all states in lightning deaths because we have a lot of golf courses and a lot of boaters, and those things both are dangerous for lightning, and farmers as well. So people that are out in the open where there's nothing but flatness around you, if you're there, you're one of the tallest things around.
So the farmers in the tractors
Exactly.
should always
Pay
get off
attention.
that tractor. Come on
Yep.
in here and come in. That was my mom doing
Yeah.
that.
I think the Weather Service says if thunder roars, get indoors.
Oh, I like that. Say that again.
If thunder roars, get indoors.
All right.
Yep.
So thunder roars, get into it.
Mhm.
Now we are. I told the engineer that we are coming forward today without calendar. We're coming straight through because I knew you would be interesting, and I
Hope so.
knew that the seniors are listening. Now you can call. You know, you already have the phone number to call in on right there by the phone where you listen to your radio. 252-756-2008. And you can call because you may have a question. Now, in a car, because you never really know when a cloud is going to make it. A cloud was over this way. This is southwest. I live in the northeastern part of North Carolina, Pitt County.
Okay.
It was a dark cloud yesterday, and I just knew I was going to get some rain.
Yes.
I didn't get any.
They fell apart. Yeah, different thunderstorms, sometimes they pop
Fell
up and
apart.
come right down.
That sounds like the cloud is falling all over. So it fell apart. So
Yeah,
that's
basically
when
it popped
made
up,
but it didn't
came right
produce
back down.
anything.
Yeah, it made rain in one place and then it kind of died away.
Died away.
Yep.
All right. So now tell me, what do you do when you're caught in any one of the events of a storm?
Okay.
I want to tell all drivers and all families what is the best thing to do when you are caught in a serious, unexpected event of weather.
Okay.
So do I call it right
You
when
did
I say
good.
event?
That's good.
Event of a weather. All right.
Now, I can tell you if you're in your car and there's a storm that rapidly hits you, this threat really is going to be the extreme wind and possibly hail.
Okay.
Okay. The lightning is not a problem for you in your car.
Why?
Lightning can strike your car. It does strike cars, but it goes around them, jumps in the ground, and people inside the car are safe.
Okay.
In electricity, it's called a Faraday cage because you're surrounded by metal and glass, and basically that puts you, once you're inside that bubble. And it can strike the bubble and go around the bubble into the ground,
But
you're
it never
safe inside.
gets in the car. Very seldom.
Unless you have your windows open. But in a storm, you're not going to have your windows open because it's raining.
Right.
You know, so as long as your windows are closed and kind of create that bubble, then you should be fine. But it does strike cars. It even strikes through the tires. I have seen tires explode from lightning before. So just because the tires are there that are made of rubber, that lightning is striking perhaps 10,000 feet through the air. It can certainly either jump your tires or go through them if it wants to.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because it's hot.
Ooh, I
Lightning
didn't know
is
that.
5 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Okay.
But it happens in a split second. You know, it's kind of like you can take your finger and put it through a candle, you know, and not burn your finger because you're going through so fast. Yeah.
I don't know how much communication you have with media or anything like that. But what one thing that I've noticed since I've been an adult is that the storm come, the trees fall. The North Carolina is not cutting and maintaining its roadway like they used to, and they will cut a tree, just get it off the tar of the road. But if it's a storm, you can run up on it and you can't, and you don't hit it, and that cause we don't maintain our highways like we used to, and the trash is what I know. The county office people say, I know she's gonna say something about trash, and the trash is what get me. The paper fly to the back of the open truck. I think they should have the cover on it all the time. But because it means that when you see a lot of negatives, we don't care about what we're causing our eyes to see.
Right.
And that means that people in government is not handling their business. But a lot of times, there's so many of us, more than the people, that these events in the weather cause things to happen. Tree falling.
Yes. That does kill
One
some people
fell
in
on
cars.
one fell on Belvoir Highway one time, struck the car and killed someone.
Yes, I know a videographer who I used to work with, and that happened to him because, when you're covering news like that, you have to drive out in those storms. And he was in Bertie County, and a storm happened, and the tree fell, and he drove into it just as it fell. So yeah, that's a shame. And those things do happen. So you never want to drive in a storm unless you absolutely have to. But when you're working like the media, you have to. I've had to drive through hurricanes before because, you have to be places, either home or at work. I mean, big storms, though, I've stayed at the station before overnight, and you sleep there. But otherwise, I have
Do not walk out in the water.
True. When it comes to driving with floodwaters, turn around, don't drown.
If water come rushing your way and you don't know it's that low, always use and it's bad because if I was in the General Assembly, I would be having a bill about keeping that center line marked enough for people to see it because it's a safety feature. And if you ride down the highway now, you can't see some of the center lines in our highway. And so we are not but maintenance is not happening in North Carolina because I used to tell every time we cross over to Virginia, they never had anything. But the right of way of our roads were always cut, and it was always neat. And we kept the curving when you out in the center. They had the yellow line.
Right.
They put what you call it, a median down by the Martin Luther Boulevard and Highway, Pactolus Highway, and by the time it dried, somebody hit it because it's new. Gray. You can't see it at night, and there was no sign there, and somebody's car got messed up, and everybody over there not as rich as you, not as rich as you, and so I know that car was hurt, but I wish we were not so conservative about the dollar that the tax dollars doesn't help our safety.
Right.
We leave everything to law enforcement for our safety, and I don't think that's good. I really think it's bad and it's dangerous.
Right. You got to use, safety should come first.
It should. It should, but we lost that. That was a motto one time, right?
Safety first.
Safety first. Yep. Well, that's not comfort. Now, when we go through like this, I don't know how much time we got, but I'll tell you this. When it comes down to meteorology, we have these computers in our hands.
Yep.
Yep.
Got mine right here.
those things that the people call satellites put up when they went up in the rockets many moons ago
And made it rain.
They are sending down messages now, and that
I got it. Yeah.
everybody's phone goes off at the same time. What should a person do?
Now, well, sometimes they do really good things by giving us warnings, so that's very good. You just talking about the satellites in general, what they're doing for us?
No,
the phones?
when we hear the phone,
Well,
and we are
they're
driving,
training us.
or
They're training us to
somebody
be
in the car,
distracting us.
it's distracting, and you don't look down, and it doesn't talk. It's center strolling. If someone is in a car with you, you can see that strolling. Sometimes with my car now, it beeps for everything and tell me I can't use the phone when I'm on driving the car. So it does not stroll across the car.
So you got one of those rich folk cars.
Used rich folk car. Used rich folk. It's not a real used rich folk car. Cause the hood it's a Avalon, and it sits low in the front.
Yeah.
And the curves are not marked with that yellow.
Okay.
So if you have hard seeing ability, you pull up on the curve. Well, I lost my eyeglasses in the backyard and I couldn't find it, and I have pulled the front of my car hood because the curving isn't marked. I can see that yellow. That's that yellow right there, and that you can see that, and it reflects at night.
Right.
But they don't do that anymore. So we're so conservative about the dollar that we don't care about the life of the paint. That's what bothers me.
Do you remember when they used to put the reflectors?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love those. But you know what? You know what happened to them, right?
No, some of them came up.
It was a snowstorm problem. There was a snowstorm, and then out go the plows to plow the road, and they plowed off all the reflectors. And they realized that when you have snow, you can't have the reflectors because they're mounted, and that the scraping of the roads takes them right off.
Well, they didn't have to keep them that close.
Yeah.
They could have had them distance afar, but they didn't. And we don't scrape the roads anymore, so they can put them back out there. That's what I'm saying. They should put them back out. The DOT should put those reflectors back out there.
Or make something
because
lower.
They don't scrape the road anymore. These young folks don't know what a road machine is. You only see it in the front of a truck, and it's pushing.
And Mary, what's your biggest snowstorm you remember?
Hazel.
I mean, snowstorm.
Snowstorm.
Do you remember 1980?
Yes, because snowstorms. No, I don't remember that one.
Okay, yeah, 1980 was our big one, March 1st and 2nd. Anyway, I was getting off topic talking about snow.
Tell me what it is.
Yeah, that one, I mean, Rocky Mountain had about 18, 19 inches.
What was the name of that one?
No, it was a snowstorm, so just no name.
Oh.
But yeah, March 1st and 2nd, and Greenville had about a foot and a half.
Well, they're naming everything now.
Nowadays, but not in 1980. It was called snow.
They're naming everything but
Blizzard.
Sue, Jack, and John. They're naming everything. I'm telling you, they're naming everything, and they're not naming them Sue, Jack, and John.
No, now talking about hurricanes, you say you did go through Hazel.
Hazel.
Okay, that was 1954.
Yes.
So you must have been a baby.
I was very young, and I used to stand in the basement because my mother, it was, I don't know why, what we had, we were the only people that had a sale, because when my daddy did the sweet potatoes, that's where the sweet potatoes went. He didn't make them one of those houses out. He put them down in the basement. So in that basement, we have stacks of potatoes. And so Hazel was the storm, and it had a window about like that. That you could see just above the ground to see what's happening on the outside. And we had a door on with all the events we are having nowadays, why is it we don't drag the road because it takes those lights out of the thing? But why is it then, and we made us put on seat belts so that we can have to spend money for the seat belts. But yet, when they cut a tree, they won't move it. And yet, they don't cut the trees all the way back away from the ditch, the center of the ditch,
Mm-hmm.
that the little one grows up when it's young and across that ditch.
Yeah.
So what we caring more about spending money than we are life and human being. So what I would like to see, it's no need being the richest country in the world and then be a fool in your feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got
I
it.
mean, I mean, there's no need of being the richest country in the world, and I hate you sitting there with me because you look, you don't have any frames on. You don't have
Yeah.
any frames on your eyeglasses.
What do
I
you
got a
mean?
little bit. I knocked mine off in the backyard.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
And that's a real thick one right
That's
there.
a thick one there. Well, mine was light. I gotta have them light because you know.
Yeah.
But you understand what? And then and your hair isn't put on.
Yeah.
But you
Not
understand
yet,
what I'm
not
saying?
yet. Oh,
Why
yeah, yeah.
is it that we care more about
know.
the dollar
Mm-hmm.
than we do human life?
I know.
Why can't I talk to you? Why can't I talk to you because you look like something else? We're getting off from weather. Y'all,
Yeah.
we talking about weather today and weather event, and I'm getting off my subject.
Well,
and
you're
that's
doing
what
good.
Phillip
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on here, and he just having a good time with me. Haven't seen him
I
in a long
am.
time. How long
I
we been
know.
knowing each other?
Oh, good. A long time. Yeah, it has
Umpteen.
been.
Yeah,
Yeah. Umpteen.
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 You were weather
Yep.
over there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I met you as weather. And I
yeah.
looked at every time you came on.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah, I started doing weather
Everything.
in December of 1987 is when I first started doing weather. Yeah.
So you know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, if you didn't tell it, oh, there was another one before you.
Jim Woods?
Walt, no. I can't think of that weatherman name.
Okay.
But he was older than you.
Uh-huh.
And he had been there a long time.
Yeah.
And he told the weather at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Cause my daddy got up and turned on the black and white TV.
Yes. Now, Jim Woods did everything before I got there.
He did.
He did weather. He did sports news. He did all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he was something else. Yeah, he was a good person to work with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're back to the weather, y'all. And here's what would you say to a senior? Oh man, 6 minutes and we gotta go. Let's see. Okay.
Don't be so excited.
I'm not trying to get out. Now I'm worried about getting everything in.
Okay, good.
I want you to say to seniors, what should they do if a storm is coming
Okay.
and they have no way of leaving? There should be a plan. I talk to them about plans.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get them because there's a lot of knowledge sitting at home and won't leave the house because the guns are out there.
Right.
So I'm saying find a place to volunteer and share your knowledge. That's what I'm saying. But when there is a weather event coming, what kind of name some event and tell what we should do?
Okay, let's say a hurricane's coming. Number one, don't be afraid of it. Okay? You survived your life very long, and so you're going to figure out how to survive a hurricane as well. And again,
Now you talk to the screen.
Yep, preparation, of course, is most important for that. That means making sure there's plenty of water in the house if the water goes out. Making sure if the power goes out, you have a way to survive that, whether it can be making sure you're at a location with other people that have generators. That's good. Someone can move you to a safer location before the hurricane comes. That would be a good idea.
If there's a handicapped person in the house.
Exactly, yep. And if you're old enough you can't really move, or you're not very mobile, then just make sure you get to a safe place or that someone's checking on you. Because having the electricity go out and the water go out, those are like two of the major things that could go wrong, besides having damage to the house. But,
And children, and you're not home.
Yep.
And not in school.
Because normally they close schools, businesses shut down when a bad hurricane is coming. So there will be relatives and friends available to help seniors in those situations. There are shelters that the government sets up. So there are places that you can be before the storm, and that's what's most important, is being prepared for the storm. And even if it turns and goes away from us, as long as you have been prepared and act on that plan, to go and be at a safe place that has food, has water, and has a generator for power, that's all good.
And if you need to shelter somewhere, Peake County has 2 brand new shelters. One at Alice King Park and one at Government Circle. And those are community centers. Those centers are equipped with necessities for sheltering for the weather event. If it's a tornado, don't try to get out and go somewhere.
Yeah, with a tornado, now tornado watch just means conditions are favorable that a storm might produce a tornado. Doesn't mean there is one. A tornado warning, that means they expect there to be a tornado somewhere or there's already been one seen. So warning that's the time when you got to act immediately. And in that case, you seek out, there's 3 questions that'll help you find out the best place to be. Mary, on these 3 questions, do you want to be upstairs or downstairs?
Downstairs.
You got it right, downstairs. You want to be near windows or away?
Away.
Exactly. Now,
No windows no, the bathroom would be best place.
a bathroom, a closet, laundry area, all good places.
How about the water heater?
That's fine. That's a good place.
Because it's never a window in the water heater.
Yep. And then you want to be in big rooms or small rooms?
Small space.
You got it. So a small room, lowest level of your house, away from windows, that puts you in the best place in whatever building you're in, even if you're at
And you
home
were
or
the
anywhere.
first person to start telling us what to do when the event coming. Every time there was an event, that was one thing you just start doing on your own. And then it became a practice at the television show.
And you know why? Because of safety first.
Good. That's
And
what
that comes first. Always has
was
to
the
come
slogan.
first. Yes, indeed.
All right, so
yeah.
keep on now.
So that was for tornado. Tornadoes typically come from the
2
southwest.
minutes.
On tornadoes or something else?
It's we got 2 minutes to go.
All right, well, let's talk about some other things. Let's see now. For a hailstorm, which is also similar to a tornado, treat a hailstorm as your tornado warning. Because in many cases...
Jump to heat.
Jump to heat, okay, we'll jump to heat. Anyway, quickly though, if you see large hail, get in your tornado safe place because large hail can usually lead to a tornado. So again, with the heat, that's very important because hot weather that causes very hot nights, that's what causes most people to have issues because your body has no chance to cool back down at night. So when we have heat waves like that, make sure you find a way to cool off at night if you can. It may be wetting with a cloth or so, putting something on your head. Even if you have things frozen in the freezer that you don't need, or perhaps you have a block of ice, you can take those out, put them in a small room with you, maybe in a bucket or something. Even that little thing with a ceiling fan or a fan blowing on that ice, that can help to cool down your room quite a bit as well. And if you can kind of keep a cool room, not necessarily the whole house, but at least a cool room, that's going to be a place for you to find some respite, and you can sleep next to that. That'll help as well. So heat is a cumulative effect on the body. So it may be hot for one day, and we're all fine and handle it. But if it's hot for 10 days and hot
always
nights,
wear something on your head in the heat.
Yes, lightweight clothing, light colored clothing.
Especially when you don't have much hair like Phillip and I.
There you go. And don't wear black in the sun because black absorbs heat. Now, black is good. The color black will absorb heat, and then also at night it radiates
All right.
heat. Yeah.
Now, we have a few minutes.
Okay.
And I didn't know that Phillip and I got off on this tangent. Y'all know how I am, and I'm so happy he came back. And I'm happy he was here to tell you how to help yourself when there is a storm, when there is a weather event. Pay attention. Have a radio that you can go out electric. Now, be good, stay safe. Any closing?
Have a flashlight for all those events.
News, information, community awareness,
Thank you so very
education.
much.
The Mary